I've always wondered, what if Earth isn't the only planet with life? When I look up at the night sky, scattered with stars, I can't help but feel small. Each of those tiny points of light could be a sun, surrounded by planets, some rocky, some frozen, some maybe alive. The thought gives me chills, because if life can exist here, on this small blue world orbiting an ordinary star, why not elsewhere? Why should Earth be the universe's only lucky lottery ticket? That's what today's journey is about. We're going to explore what it would really mean if we weren't alone. Not just as a headline, but as a truth that changes everything we know about who we are. First, let's start with a question. Why do we even ask this? Life on Earth began billions of years ago, from molecules so simple they almost seemed accidental. And yet, here we are, conscious, curious, asking the universe where everyone else is. If it happened once, could it happen again? The idea isn't just imagination, it's science. In 1961, astronomer Frank Drake came up with an equation, the Drake equation. It tries to estimate how many advanced civilizations might exist in our galaxy. It multiplies 7 factors: the rate of star formation, the number of planets per star, how many of those planets could host life, how often life actually begins, how often intelligence develops, how many of those civilizations create detectable technology, and how long they survive. Multiply all those probabilities together, and you get a number. That number could be 1, just us, or it could be 1,000,000. But the truth is, we don't know, because nearly every term in that equation is still a mystery. So we look outward, searching for clues. The first clue lies in what scientists call the habitable zone dash dash, the region around a star where liquid water could exist. Not too hot, not too cold, the Goldilocks zone. Earth, of course, sits right in it, but so might countless other worlds. Thanks to telescopes like Kepler and TESS, we've discovered thousands of exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars. Many of them are rocky, Earth-sized, and in their star's habitable zone. Planets like Kepler 186f, about 580 light-years away, or Kepler 442b, a little bigger than Earth, orbiting a quieter, longer-lived star. Every discovery like this cracks open the possibility that life could exist where we're. Each exoplanet we find is a cosmic lottery ticket, and we're holding billions of them. But here's the catch. Being in the habitable zone doesn't guarantee life. It only means life could happen. Now here's where things get tricky. What even is life? That might sound simple, but defining life is one of science's hardest problems. We know it's made of cells, it grows, reproduces, evolves. But life on Earth might just be one example, one flavor. What if elsewhere life doesn't use carbon or water? What if it breathes methane or swims through clouds of ammonia? What if life can exist in ways we can barely imagine? Even here on Earth, life is wild. We found bacteria that thrive in boiling acid, microbes frozen in Antarctic ice for thousands of years that wake up again. Creatures living inside rocks miles below the surface. These are called extremophiles, and they show that life isn't fragile. It's adaptable. If it can exist in volcanic vents or radioactive caves, then the universe might be bursting with possibilities. So if life is out there, what would it look like? Maybe it's microbial, simple cells clinging to alien oceans under thick clouds. Or maybe it's something far beyond our imagination. Forest-like colonies spreading across plains of red soil, intelligent beings gazing at their own stars, wondering the same thing we do. But here's the strange part. If the universe is full of life, where is everybody? That's the Fermi paradox. A haunting question asked by physicist Enrico Fermi in 1950. If intelligent life is common, why haven't we heard from anyone? There are a few theories. Maybe life is common, but intelligence is rare. Maybe civilizations always destroy themselves before they can reach the stars. Or maybe advanced species are out there, but they're quiet, observing us, waiting for us to grow up. Some even think there's a great filter, a barrier that prevents civilizations from surviving long enough to explore the galaxy. That filter could be behind us or ahead of us. If it's behind us, we're lucky survivors. If it's ahead, well, that's a darker thought. When I think about this, I imagine the galaxy as a vast ocean. Earth is one small island, and we're scanning the horizon, listening for waves or whispers from other shores. So far, all we've heard is silence. But that silence could mean many things. Maybe it's not empty, just quiet. Let's zoom in to what we do know. NASA and the European Space Agency have already found hints of habitability. For instance, Mars, our red neighbor, shows signs of ancient riverbeds. Billions of years ago, it may have had lakes and seas. If microbial life ever existed there, its fossils might still be buried beneath the dust. And then there are the icy moons Europa, orbiting Jupiter, and Enceladus, orbiting Saturn. Both have oceans beneath their icy crusts. Oceans that might be warm and salty, heated by tidal forces. We've even seen plumes of water vapor erupting into space from Enceladus, carrying organic molecules. If you were to fly through those plumes, you'd be flying through material from an alien ocean. That's why future missions, like NASA's Europa Clipper, are so exciting. They could tell us whether those hidden seas are alive. Meanwhile, telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope are analyzing the atmospheres of distant exoplanets. They can detect gases like oxygen, methane, carbon dioxide, possible biosignatures of life. It's like smelling a kitchen from across the street. You can't see what's cooking, but you know something is there. And we're not just looking for biosignatures, but also technosignatures, signs of technology. Things like artificial light, unusual radio signals, or chemical pollution that nature can't explain. Imagine if one day we detected a faint, repeating signal, a pattern that couldn't be natural. That would be the moment everything changes. But before we get carried away, let's remember, after decades of searching, we haven't yet found proof of life beyond Earth. Still, every discovery brings us closer. Every new planet, every spectrum we study tightens the circle around the truth. We may be right on the edge of one of the greatest discoveries in human history. Now, let's imagine the possibilities. What if life is common? What would that mean for us? It would mean we're part of a vast cosmic ecosystem. That life is not the exception. It's the rule. Every galaxy could be teeming with civilizations at different stages of evolution. Some primitive, some ancient, beyond comprehension. Think about it. There could be planets where dinosaurs never went extinct. Worlds where life evolved under red suns in violet skies. Worlds where intelligence took a completely different form. Maybe something like collective minds or beings made of plasma. If that's true, then humanity isn't the universe's center. It's one voice in a cosmic choir. That realization could reshape our philosophy, our religions, even our politics. We'd see ourselves as part of something much, much larger. But what if the opposite is true? What if life is incredibly rare? Then Earth might be a miracle. A 1 in a trillion accident in an otherwise silent universe. A spark that happened once, and maybe never again. That idea is humbling and terrifying, because it would mean we carry the only known consciousness in the cosmos, the only eyes that can look back at the stars and wonder. If that's the case, then preserving life on Earth becomes our greatest responsibility. Because if we're the only flame of awareness in this vast darkness, letting it go out would be the ultimate tragedy. Either way, the search for life out there is really a mirror turned toward ourselves. When we send probes to Mars, when we listen for alien signals, we're also asking, what is life? What does it mean to be alive? We're trying to understand our own origins, our own future. The quest for extraterrestrial life isn't just about aliens. It's about what it means to exist in a universe that might be bursting with possibilities or hauntingly silent. And here's the most exciting part. We will find answers maybe sooner than you think. With the next generation of telescopes, we'll be able to analyze the atmospheres of Earth-like exoplanets in stunning detail. We'll send robotic explorers beneath the ice of Europa and Enceladus. We'll continue listening to the cosmos for whispers of distant civilizations. And one day, maybe not in my lifetime, but maybe in yours, we'll look at the data and realize we found something. A chemical imbalance that can't be explained by geology alone. A faint radio hum repeating from a nearby star. A sign that says, you are not alone. That moment will change everything. It will be humanity's first contact, even if it's only through a telescope. But let's pause for a moment. Imagine what that discovery would feel like. The headlines would explode. The world would stop. For the first time, every human would look up and feel connected to something larger than ourselves. Wars, borders, ideologies, all of it would feel smaller. Because we'd finally see that our little blue planet is just one world among billions. Maybe that's the perspective we need. Not fear, but awe. not division, but unity. Because if life can emerge in multiple corners of the galaxy, then maybe survival, curiosity, and connection are universal instincts. Whenever I think about all this, I like to step outside at night. I look at the stars and I remind myself that each one could be someone else's sun. Maybe somewhere out there, another being is doing the same thing. Looking up, wondering if they're alone. And maybe, just maybe, our thoughts are crossing in the void, two minds separated by light years, but united by the same question. What if Earth wasn't the only planet with life? If this journey made you think, then let's keep exploring together. Hit subscribe because there's so much more to discover. From the secrets of black holes to the future of space exploration. Leave me a comment below. If we found an alien civilization tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd want to say to them? For me, I think I'd just say, "Hello, we've been wondering about you." Thanks for watching. Stay curious and never stop looking up.